Hello and welcome to Rohit's Kitchen Garden. Today let me show you how to grow okra and how pot size affects your plant growth. I have 3 pots out of which one is big. So I will be sowing 4 plants in these 2-inch pots. One week later, we can see that the saplings have grown. So at this point, I will thin the plants by removing the weakest plants and the other unwanted plants around. This will make sure that the plants which I want to grow to their full potential. This is 9 days after sowing. Now I will show you an interesting way of transplanting a sapling from a small pot to a large pot. All that I needed is a mug of water for this size pot. If your pot from which you are transplanting is bigger, then you may need a bucket of water. Carrying on, all that you need to do is immerse the whole pot, excluding the sapling, in the water till as much water soaks in, and then just invert the pot. That's when you see the magic. The whole soil comes out intact without disturbing the root system. After you are done with transplanting, then just water the surrounding areas so that they do not draw moisture away from the plant's roots. " 11 days after sowing, all that I did was place a long stick right next to the plant to support it. I did this right now because if I did this later when the plant grows bigger, it could affect the root system. 21 days after sowing, you will start to find out the difference by using a smaller pot. The rectangular pot can hold a sufficient amount of soil, but the roots don't uptake the nutrients because the roots grow downwards and not sideways. Therefore, you can see if the leaves are still round whereas the others have got rectangular shape already. 32 days later, the leaves are much bigger, more leaves have been formed. But in the rectangular pot, the leaves are not only small, they are lesser in number too. 39 days later, we can see that the big plants have already started to form buds, whereas the small plant in the rectangular pot has just started to have the look of an okra plant. 45 days later, we can not only see the size difference, but we can also see that the big plants have already started to form the okras. One plant also has a flower on it, but the small plant has just started to form the buds. 54 days later, we can harvest a few okras from the big plants. The big plants have formed multiple okras, whereas the small plant has very few and small okras.